Casino Arizona. Uniquely Arizona. Must be 21 or older. Problem gambling? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
The garage door springs that come standard with most homes don't last. And when they fail, it's not just inconvenient, it's dangerous. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello at A1 Garage Door Service. Our springs are the toughest in the industry, backed by our lifetime warranty. That's right. Fix them once and you're covered for life. Don't risk your family's safety or your peace of mind. Let A1 replace your springs before they become a problem. From repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one.
A1 from day one.
To 15-year-old Harper, buying an $80 vintage rock t-shirt is a great investment. To Harper's mom, this logic has a few holes in it. So she helped Harper open a Wells Fargo Clear Access banking account. With no overdraft fees and tools to track spending, Harper's learning, one heavy metal tee at a time. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Terms apply. Visit wellsfargo.com/deposit disclosures for fees and details.
Hey, Mom. It's me. Oh, my gosh. You'll never believe what I just opened for Valentine's Day. A sapphire ring from Helzberg. Just like the one I lost years ago. Remember how excited I was when you gave it to me? I cannot believe you remembered that story. I guess you were right. I really found the one.
This Valentine's Day, create a moment that means something with up to 40% off gifts at Helzberg. Shop in store or at helzberg.com.
Try the Chicken Melt Trio at Port of Subs. Protein packed with bold sauces and built to crush cravings. Order now at portofsubs.com.
Slice fresh sandwiches, Port of Subs.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix. It's the lunch break.
January 29th, 2026. It is the Thursday edition of the lunch break right here. KDUS AM 1060, streaming on the KDUS AM 1060 app, and you can watch us on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube channel. Chris Schubert, producer Evan, alongside you for the next 2 hours here today on the program. Is this day 4? Are we considering this day 4? Feels like we've stopped the LaFleur watch.
LaFleur.
I will consider it day 4 for the sake of this program, and that's kind of where I want to start. No Suns game to react to last night. Certainly no news on the Cardinals coaching front. We have no idea who's going to be the next head coach for the Arizona Cardinals. And so where I would like to start today's program, if it's all right with all of you, is I think I want to take this opportunity, and producer Evan's going to find this funny. I want to take this opportunity to try to calm everybody down here to start today's program.
Time for our top story of the day. It's the Daily Special.
Now, the reason why producer Evan finds that funny is because I was not calm about 3 minutes before we went on air today. A lot going on in my brain to start a Thursday, and I was not in my normal show form. And so it's funny that I'm now going to walk in here and try to be a therapist to everybody when 5 minutes ago I think I needed like 4. I was all thrown off this morning. I left earlier than I normally did. The day has not gone the way I wanted it to. But it's okay. We're here. We're with all of you. We're having a good time. And now I'm going to attempt to calm all of you down. Because if you take one quick perusal of social media, and maybe you don't need to because it's how you feel, so you don't need to see other people have this feeling, there is a lot of concern. There is a lot of worry today about how the Arizona Cardinals are pursuing their next head coach. Because I think many of us, myself included, assumed that after a 2-day interview, Mike LaFleur was going to be the next head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. And so when that didn't happen yesterday, and it didn't happen all day yesterday, didn't happen this morning, remember, Adam Schefter told everybody by Wednesday, everybody's going to have a new head coach. It's funny because Klint Kubiak can't be the next head coach of either of these franchises, and he's the hot name for both of them. So I don't know why Schefter said that Wednesday was going to be the day, because it technically can't be, but that's neither here nor there. You thought it was going to get done yesterday. You thought maybe it was going to get done today. You thought by Friday the Arizona Cardinals would have themselves a new head coach. And so the fact that this didn't follow the way your logical brain thought it was going to follow, you're worried. You're concerned today. You're dreading the Cardinals screwing this up the way they have screwed up head coach hirings in the past, the way they have screwed up major decisions, GMs, draft picks, trades, free agent signings, you name it. You've got a laundry list at 480-864-1060 that you could share with me right now of times that the Arizona Cardinals screwed up big time. We could do a top 5 list today, fielding your calls on things that should go on that list. And so because of that history, because of the past failings of this organization, you're expecting it to happen again. You're worried that it's happening again. You are starting to see what you believe are the signs of this going down the wrong path. I want to ask you a question, though. What exactly have the Cardinals done wrong here? Have they interviewed all the people that you wanted them to interview? And don't give me John Harbaugh. Don't give me Sean McDermott. You need to be realistic in answering that question. I know for me, all the names I wanted to see on this list, outside of Mike McDaniel, and again, I don't know how many head coach interviews McDaniel was really interested in taking in this cycle, especially when he just goes and takes an OC job with the Chargers. So if you're realistic, all of the names you wanted to see as a part of this search were on the list. Sure. Were there plenty of names on the list that you didn't want? Did you really want the Cardinals to talk to Ron Rivera? Did the Cardinals really need to talk to Matt Nagy? Did they need to talk to Arthur Smith? Did they really need to talk to Vance Joseph, or did they know mostly what Vance Joseph was about? I get it. I understand that you weren't happy necessarily with some of the names on the list. But I know for me, Klint Kubiak was on the list. Mike LaFleur was on the list. Robert Saleh was on the list. We grew on this program to really love the pursuit of Anthony Campanelli. So I go back to my previous question. Where exactly did the Cardinals go wrong? And I can hear you already responding to that by saying, Chris, they didn't hire Mike LaFleur when they had them in the building for 2 days. Have they lost Mike LaFleur yet? Is Mike LaFleur making the declaration that Anthony Campanelli made that he's going back to the Los Angeles Rams? Has Mike LaFleur publicly or through a media source, whether it's Ian Rappaport or Adam Schefter or Tom Pelissaro or Mike Garafolo, has it leaked out that he is withdrawing his name from consideration for this head coaching gig? I haven't seen that. Have you, producer Evan? Have you seen that come across the timeline? No, you're shaking your head no. So you haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. I don't think you've seen it. Where exactly have the Cardinals gone wrong here? If you're complaining that they're one of the last 2 teams hiring in this cycle, what did you expect? Did you really think that, forget about the Bills and the Steelers and the Ravens making their decisions as late as they did. Let's just go with the original group of 6 or 7 coaches and the original set of firings. Did you really think you were a premier destination? Did you think you were a vacancy that everybody was going to be running towards with those initial 6 or 7 openings? Did you really think coaching candidates were going to trip over each other, fight each other, Hunger Games style, to get an opportunity to sit with Michael Bidwell and Monty Ossenfort about the Arizona Cardinals opening? That was never the reality of this situation. That was never how this was going to play out. We have long said the Cardinals were never going to be able to put a contract in front of Robert Saleh with all these other openings and get him to sign on the dotted line. We actually said it was a benefit for the Cardinals to go last because they might be able to outlast everybody. And oh, by the way, we'll talk about this today on the program, but that patience might have allowed them to be in the mix for Klint Kubiak. Still a little skeptical. We'll touch on that here today on the program as well. The Cardinals going last was always the ideal plan unless you could just wow somebody. And we had our doubts about that being a realistic possibility. So I'll ask again. like the teacher in the class, making sure that the class understood the lesson, where exactly have the Cardinals gone wrong? Is it that they didn't hire Mike LaFleur?
LaFleur.
When you said that they should have hired Mike LaFleur? When I said they should have hired Mike LaFleur? Was I disappointed to come in here on Wednesday and not have the opening of the show a conversation about Mike LaFleur officially being the next head coach of the Cardinals? Yes. And am I disappointed that this has bled over into day 4? Am I a little concerned that we are possibly trending down the wrong path? Sure. But did you see all those caveats? Possibly. Somewhat. You can't judge this organization on a failure that hasn't happened yet. You are judging a TV show or a movie on its ending without actually having seen the ending. You are assuming the worst. And I get it. I understand the past history kind of prepares you for that. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best. If you set your expectations at the bottom, you can't be disappointed. I understand all of that. Trust me. Growing up on the East Coast, being a Mets and a Jets guy, that's just ingrained into who I am, okay? I expect the worst. And so I understand that you are expecting the worst. But to get on social media, I've seen some podcasts yesterday talk about this. Radio hosts talk about this in this market. You're talking about things that haven't actually happened yet. You're criticizing a team for not getting a hiring in Mike LaFleur when that's still a possibility. My phone could go off. The breaking news sounder could hit right now with the announcement that Mike LaFleur could be the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. And you would have worried, you would have been concerned, you would have been angry for absolutely nothing. So allow me to try to calm you down today. Don't be upset that they haven't hired Mike LaFleur until they actually don't. Until they actually make Anthony Weaver or Raheem Morris or Vance Joseph or Matt Nagy or somebody that you're not exactly enthralled with. Until they make that, in your mind, bad hire, don't be critical as if they've already made the bad hire. I've heard the word embarrassment get thrown around here the last couple of days about this search. Have they really embarrassed themselves? If Mike LaFleur came out right now and withdrew his name from consideration and Klint Kubiak decided to go to the Raiders, now we're talking embarrassment. Now we're talking you screwed this up. You had LaFleur in the building, you let him go. You got mesmerized by the idea of a Klint Kubiak interview. None of that has happened yet. None of that is our actual reality right now in this moment. What do we know right now? What is our present reality? The Arizona Cardinals have one of the last 2 openings. The Arizona Cardinals basically have their pick of everybody not named Klint Kubiak. That includes Mike LaFleur.
I'm sorry. I think to call this search an embarrassment at this point feels misguided. And it was an embarrassment 2 weeks ago when they had a list of 15 names and you didn't feel like, really, can they get any of them? We talked on this show about being patient, about waiting for your guy. They have done all that. I think everybody in this town, across the national media, would have loved 3 weeks ago had they hired LaFleur, had they hired Klint Kubiak. Guess what? That wasn't a possibility. And now you're at a spot where there are 2 job openings left. There are 2 names we loved at the beginning who may not have been first on your list, but one of them was first on mine, and one of them was third on both of ours, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So when we did this, when this job opened up, you have 2 of the 3 names still at the top of the list with 2 jobs remaining.
I also can't say they've embarrassed themselves when they were patient. And you may say, oh, it's blind luck. A broken clock is right twice a day. I hear all that. But we said patience is going to allow the Cardinals to maybe be in a position to still get their guy. And every domino, basically outside of Robert Saleh, has fallen in a way for the Cardinals to actually come away with a top-tier candidate. How is that an embarrassment? It's only an embarrassment if they don't actually get one of those guys. And I'm sorry, I'll check social media again here. They haven't hired Vance Joseph.
And I just want to be
They haven't hired Matt Nagy or Arthur Smith or insert candidate that you're not a fan of.
And I guess I just want to ask the question, what's more of an embarrassment? You hire Mike LaFleur, and then it comes out 2 weeks later, Klint Kubiak was going to take an interview with you, and you didn't take it?
Right.
Or we made Mike LaFleur wait a week so we could interview Klint Kubiak.
And this is where people are impatient. Because if they hired Mike LaFleur on Tuesday night, done deal, Mike LaFleur is the next head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. And today, we got a news story that Klint Kubiak was serious about taking the Cardinals gig and wanted to take an interview, but it never got to that point. Can you imagine what social media would be like if the Cardinals never took that in-person interview? You can't have it both ways. I'm skeptical of this interview happening. I'm skeptical of the authenticity of the interview. And we're going to get to that today on the program, trust me. But if it's a possibility, I think the Cardinals have to at least see it through.
And you know what? Even if he is using you as a stepping stone to get more from the Raiders job, to get the offer, whatever it may be, in all honesty, it feels serious enough that he's going to take this job this week. Like, they're going to the Super Bowl.
And
he's going to take this job interview right now.
And I know the reports out there yesterday was that, these interviews this week have to be agreed upon by everybody, including the Seahawks. And so the expectation was that was going to be, over the weekend, Saturday. I don't think Klint Kubiak is taking an interview on a Saturday, 8 days out of the Super Bowl, if he's not at least somewhat serious. Again, I want to get to that as the show progresses here today. But the Cardinals have not embarrassed themselves just yet. I am not willing to go to that place. I'm not willing to go there. If they end up with a bad hire and they miss out on LaFleur because they didn't act quick enough, sure, let's judge them on that. But let's let this process play out, because this is exactly at least how I wanted this process to go. But when we were talking on Monday or Tuesday, I didn't think Kubiak was a possibility. Now, all of a sudden, an in-person interview is on the table. That changes the math a little bit. It changes the equation a little bit. So hopefully I calmed you down a little bit here today to start the program.
Don't hit the panic button.
It's not all bad yet. Could it get bad? I am absolutely admitting to you that they could hire Vance Joseph as their next head coach. They could hire Matt Nagy, although that's not the name that's out there. It looks like it's going to be Raheem Morris or Anthony Weaver if it's not Mike LaFleur. But I get it. But we're not there yet. Just relax. 480-864-1060 is the phone number if you want to hang out with us here today on the program. Download the KDUS AM 1060 app so you can take us with you on the go, and you have your chance to win stuff for listening on the KDUS AM 1060 app, like a chance to win 2 tickets to the MLB Players Trust Playmakers Classic at Warehouse 215 on Wednesday, February 18th. When we come back, the Suns are back in action tonight. Can they start a streak of their own? That's next, the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
KDUS AM 1060 is your home for the Jim Rome Show.
I'm not here to bury Mike Tomlin, but the fact is, this absolutely is the right move. He did the right thing, and he fired himself. All good things come to an end. Going a decade without winning a single playoff game is not meeting the standard.
The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
I get by with a little help from my friends. Ringo Starr and his all-star band. With friends Steve Lukather from Toto. From Men at Work, Colin Hay. From Average White Band, Hamish Stewart. Friday, June 12th, 7:30 p.m., Gamage Auditorium. On sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Produced by Danny Zalesko Presents.
Try the Chicken Melt Trio at Port of Subs. Protein-packed with bold sauces and built to crush cravings. Order now at portofsubs.com.
Sliced fresh sandwiches, Port of Subs.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help that often requires only simple maintenance. However, if left untreated, could lead to costly repairs. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello from A1 Garage Door Service. Don't wait until a simple garage door repair becomes a major problem. If your garage door is noisy, if bugs are getting in, or if it struggles to open, your garage door is in need of repair. From simple repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one. We fix garage doors fast and with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. Our springs, rollers, and openers are tested by running them up and down, open and close, specialist all day, 24/7, so you can feel confident with every A1 garage door repair. Replacing the bottom rubber on your garage door can have a huge impact on the number of bugs you see in your garage and in your home. Keep those creepy crawlers outside by calling A1 Garage Door Service today and receive the best service, best parts, and best warranty in the industry.
A1Garage.com. A1 from day one.
Call today and take advantage of our $29.95 tune-up special.
Meineke always treats your car like it's their own. With over 50 years of experience, Meineke's certified technicians will diagnose and fix any issue with precision and care. Schedule an appointment at Meineke.com. Trust your key with Meineke. Meineke, doing car care right.
Jim Rome here for your Rome Report. Typically, I'm here for Petty. I like Petty. Petty's funny, but denying Bill Belichick entry into the Pro Football Hall of Fame is neither petty nor funny. It's just idiotic. Belichick, though, is not the big loser here. The losers are the 11 or more who didn't vote him in. The losers are the ones who are so butthurt by the guy, they completely abuse the responsibility that comes along with having that vote. You didn't send him a message or prove anything other than you are a thin-skinned loser with a personal agenda if you didn't vote him in. You don't have to like the guy, but you do have to vote for the guy. 6 Super Bowls as a head coach, 2 more as a D coordinator, 3rd winningest coach of all time, and somebody who revolutionized the game makes this the easiest vote and the biggest no-brainer ever. It's not a popularity contest. It's the freaking Pro Football Hall of Fame. At least it used to be. I'm Jim Rome. And remember, you can follow me on Instagram at Jim Rome.
Need parts fast? Need them now? O'Reilly is fast. Just one part that makes O'Reilly Auto Parts stand apart. Right now at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts, you can get 1 free set of brake pads when you buy 2 qualifying brake rotors. Ask the professional parts people about additional brake pad and rotor upgrade options available at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
There is no better way to cash in during America's biggest sporting event than Prize Picks. Just pick 2 to 6 players, pick more or less on their stat projections, and submit your lineup to play. Download the Prize Picks app right now. Use my code ROME and get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code ROME on Prize Picks to get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get the $50 credit in lineups just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. You do have to be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Beerstein.
Rams and Seahawks, Andy. I don't understand how to be so aggressive. Instead of definitely going up 13-10, your play calls resulted in a quick punt, so quick that Seattle actually gets the ball back, goes down the field and takes a lead, and then they get the jump on you in the second half with that fumbled punt, and that was a huge mistake by the Rams. But I'm going to go back to how they mismanaged that at halftime.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Welcome back in the lunch break here on KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert, producer Evan, hanging out with you here today on the program. And producer Evan, I need your help. I need your expertise in the producer department, because I'm having a bit of a tough time figuring out how I want to talk about tonight's Suns game against the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, I would love to help you break it down.
Well, and can I tell you where I'm concerned? Can I tell you what has me kind of twisted up in a pretzel?
Of course.
This kind of all depends on the health of Jalen Green, right?
Yeah,
like
100%. It feels like they could very well win this game with Jalen Green out there. With him not out there, I don't want to say they can't win this game, but it's an uphill battle.
And it impacts the way I talk about the game. If he's available, okay, how does he replace what Devin Booker provides? Is he back in the starting lineup? There are all these questions that I could throw out there. If he doesn't play, you start talking about, is it another night for Mark Williams to step up? Can Dylan Brooks continue to be that leader and fill that leadership void? What does Jordan not do? Second time seeing the Pistons. These are all things that we could tug on. But it all goes back to Jalen Green. It all goes back to his availability. I'll just tell you what we know right now. Jalen Green, just like he has been for the last 2 games, is listed as questionable for tonight. That's what I got for you. He's listed as questionable. He was listed as questionable for the Miami game, then was ruled out. He was listed questionable for who they played the other night. Brooklyn, ruled out.
I just feel like third time's the charm on getting listed questionable.
Okay.
Because then in the first game, you would have listed him out.
So now this is where I want to take this. And so I'm glad that you brought this up. The Suns play a back-to-back. They play Detroit tonight. They play Cleveland tomorrow. I think everybody would agree here. We're not the decision makers for the Phoenix Suns. We're not Jordan Ott. We're not the Suns medical staff. We're not Brian Gregory. We're not Matt Ishbia. We don't have a say, right? But if we were to create a fake Suns roundtable right here and we were the decision makers, I think we would pass a rule as a group. Jalen Green's not going to play back-to-backs. Considering what we've already been through the first, couple months of the season, I think we would agree as a group here. Jalen Green, you are banned for the moment of playing back-to-backs. So he's only going to, if we assume he's healthy, he's only going to play in one of these two games. He's either going to play tonight against Detroit or he's going to play tomorrow night against Cleveland. Which game do you play him in? That's the interesting strategical question that I think Jordan Ott and company are deciding on today. That is the real intriguing part of this because it has been trending towards him returning to the lineup, and I anticipate that he returns at some point in these next two games, but it's only going to be one of them. Because even with extra days off, he hasn't been able to play in 2 straight games. So you're certainly not going to, fresh off of coming back from another injury, put him into a back-to-back situation. So he's either playing tonight against Detroit or he's playing tomorrow night against Cleveland. Take your pick.
I think they're going to play him against Cleveland.
I would play him tonight and give him 2 days off before playing the Clippers on Sunday. Because if he plays on Friday...
When you phrase it like that, it looks way better.
And you have to, right? I think it's important to factor in the number of days off that Jalen Green is going to get in this. If you play him tonight, take away the matchups of Detroit and Cleveland, right? If you play him tonight, he can sit on Friday. He can sit on Saturday. There's no travel. The Suns are at home. And then he can play on Sunday against a Western Conference foe in the Clippers. If you play him tomorrow night against Cleveland, he doesn't play tonight. He gets an extra day on the front end. He then plays against Cleveland. It's 1 day off back in action against the Clippers. I would, and I hate that I'm treating Jalen Green with kid gloves. I hate that I'm treating this situation so delicately, but I have an opportunity here. I know he's only playing in one of these 2 games. He's either playing tonight or Friday. Why not play him if he is healthy and available for this game tonight? Why not play him tonight and get the 2 days off before playing the Clippers on Sunday? Maximize the amount of rest he gets in between games.
Feels like the better move.
If you're just looking at it through the lens of a healthy Jalen Green. But again, it goes back to what I said at the top. What makes this so confusing? I don't know if Jalen Green's actually available tonight. He's listed as questionable, just like he's been for the last 2 games. So I don't know if he's actually available. Now, one could assume that if he could play tomorrow against Cleveland, that he could probably play tonight against Detroit.
Correct. You would try.
Is there that much of a difference in the 24 hours? I don't think so. I'm once again not a medical professional. Don't play one on the radio. I'm just guessing here as a buffoon who they give a microphone to.
Again, I say this: medical is your hobby.
It is not my profession. We lightly dabble in it here on the program.
No, I can't. Unless it was it's what? Tightness?
It was right hamstring tightness, yes.
So what is he going to feel tomorrow that he doesn't feel today? Or if he was trying to go the other 2 games, actually trying to go and questionable, why not today?
Right, and that's the other part of it too. How close was he playing on Tuesday against Brooklyn? How close was he?
And that's kind of the biggest question. Because if he was close, then he plays tonight. And you give him the 2 days off and you play him Saturday.
Yeah.
But if he wasn't close.
I'm just checking social media again, and he's listed as questionable.
I don't think we're going to get that till 2 hours before. 5 o'clock, you're going to know if Jalen Green's playing.
Well, they play. We've got another 7 o'clock one tonight. So It normally comes out if somebody's not playing, about 2 hours before, 2.5 hours before we get the designation.
I don't know what the rule is. I don't know if it's 2 hours or 2.5.
But we'll know. I think they're going to keep this close to the vest. But If he's available to play at any point in these next two games, then I think it is the right thing to do to play him tonight and have him sit tomorrow and then back in the lineup on Sunday, maximize his rest. Okay, let's say he doesn't play tonight. Do they have a shot against the Pistons? I don't want to say no, because this team has proven me wrong many a time in the past. They have proven their ability to rise up to a challenge. But it was tough sledding to get past Brooklyn on Tuesday. Detroit's a much better basketball team.
It does feel like they have a chance to win any game on any given night, right? Because we talked about it with the Brooklyn game. Like, just people show up almost out of nowhere every night, and every night you get a different hero. But I got to tell you, it feels like you're punching up.
And here's another question. What's Colin Gillespie's status for tonight? That should also impact this.
Huge.
If Gillespie's available, he's also listed as questionable, by the way. So we're just going to do this song and dance for the next, 7 hours today. But if he's available, that changes things a little bit. Because now you have somebody that, especially in late in games, has been really clutch for this team. And I hate using that term. I think it has taken on a life of its own in sports.
What, clutch?
I've had this debate since I was a kid. I hate the term clutch. I think situations are clutch. I think talking about a player being clutch, you get into this weird, because then what happens if they're not clutch? Or do you take that moniker away from them? It's always been a weird conversation for me, but he's been so good. He's thrived in those clutch moments, those clutch situations. He's seemingly more often than not come through for this team when they've needed somebody. And so having him back in the lineup tonight, I think would be really important for them. But I do think it's going to be an uphill battle. But I'm going to sit down tonight, even if they don't have Jalen Green, and be like, okay, it's going to be, how are they going to stay in this game tonight? Not, can they stay in this game tonight? It's going to be, all right, how are they going to pull this magic trick off tonight? That's kind of the way you feel about this team right now. So we'll see. Everything's about Jalen Green's health right now. Everything about this team stems off of his ability to get back into this lineup for this squad. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. We've got the video version of the show, so if you want to watch us while you're at work, the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube channel, go ahead and subscribe to us over there as well. If you're in the car, you want to take us with you with the KDUS AM 1060 app while you're listening at the gym, go ahead and give that a download as well. And you can listen over there for your chance to win 2 tickets, the 28th annual Arizona Renaissance Festival in Gold Canyon. I got to decide when I am headed out to the Renaissance Festival. We always pick one weekend, one Saturday or Sunday when it's out there to go.
I've never been. I want to go this year.
Do
you dress up?
I do not dress up.
So you don't have to?
Well, you don't have to. No, you can just go, in regular clothes. My daughter, the last time we went, we rented one of those Renaissance dresses.
Oh, awesome.
So she was walking around in that. They've got the turkey legs. You name it, they've got it there at the Renaissance Festival. Open Saturdays and Sundays from January 31st through March 29th. So it opens up this Saturday. Magical moments await you at every corner of the 50-acre village. Don't miss it. We've got your chance to win a pair of tickets to head out to the 28th annual Arizona Renaissance Festival for listening on the KDUS AM 1060 app. When we return, could Klint Kubiak actually want the Cardinals job? That's next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
ASU women's basketball right here on KDUS AM 1060. Join the Lady Sun Devils this Sunday as they take on Kansas State here at home. Head coach Molly Miller knows what it'll take to lead her team to another home conference win. Join Jeff Mudd on the call live. It's ASU versus Kansas State this Sunday. Pregame at 1:30 p.m. and tip-off at 2 right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
John Mellencamp. Dancing Words Tour, the greatest hits. August 9th. Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater. Tickets are on sale now at livenation.com. John Mellencamp. part of the America First Credit Union Concert Series.
Right now at Mark Kia in Scottsdale, we have the vehicles you want at affordable prices.
For instance, the sought-after 2025 Kia Sportage is available for $27,999, and with $2,000 down at 3.99% financing for 72 months, drive out with a payment of $475 a month. We have affordable options on all of our most popular Kias.
Now available at Mark Kia at the Scottsdale Auto Show. The name to remember, Mark Kia, Mark Kia. Go to markkia.com for full details. Offer only through Kia Motors Finance. Offer expires February 2nd, 2026.
Hi, I'm Lexi, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company, where we're all about you. Your style, your budget, your dream engagement ring. We'll take total care of you. First, come browse all the beautiful settings in our cases. Take your time and try on as many as you want. You'll know when you put your ring on. Your heart will skip a beat. Now, onto your center stone. We can look at different diamond shapes and sizes until we find the perfect match. Come visit us in store, because a friend wants you to get exactly what you want. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Come on down to the Ranch House Grill. Comfort food is your next meal. Pork chili verde, chicken fried steak. Ranch House knows you'll think it's great. Hey there, Phoenix. Have you tasted the best breakfast in town yet? Well, Ranch House Grill has it. From our crispy golden chicken fried steak to our hearty slow-cooked pork chili verde, our generous portions are sure to make you feel right at home. We serve breakfast and lunch every day from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. in a cozy, family-friendly spot with a small-town feel. After 19 years of serving up Southwestern comfort food, we're still right here on 56th Street and Thomas Road. Come on by and let us make your morning special.
Fridays at 5, I'm out exploring. From hiking up Camelback to skiing at Snowbowl, the adventures never stop with AAA. It's membership that travels with me, whether behind the wheel or a passenger, in my ride, my buddies, or a rental. AAA's got 24/7 expert help with tows, battery help, and more. Plus branch services like free passport photos and trip planning. Membership gives you all this and more for less than $6 a month, and I can add loved ones for half off. Call or visit your local branch today. AAA, your membership to go.
Every day begins with the promise of something new, a new perspective, a fresh start. At Banner Health, right here, right now, we're pioneering new ways to treat cancer with our own immune systems. We're among the first to treat Parkinson's with the patient's own cells. And we're a world leader in artificial heart implantation, all while training over 1,300 doctors every year. Impressive, right? It's just another Banner day. Banner Health.
The Dan Patrick Show.
I wasn't going to ask too much of Jarrett Stidham. I just wanted him to maintain. You throw one deep pass late, and then you come back and try to throw another deep pass in those conditions, and he gets picked off. They just weren't threatening on neither team was, because the weather was, obviously rough enough that we could even find, Jim Nance is like, I don't know where the ball is. I think the 33-yard line.
Weekdays, 7 to 10 a.m. on KTUS AM 1060.
I got to tell you, I am still confused. Welcome back in the lunch break, KTUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert, producer Evan, and you. And I'll tell you the thing I'm confused about. There was a report, what was it, late Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning. I know we addressed it yesterday on the program from Tony Pauline that Klint Kubiak was going to take an interview later on this week with the Arizona Cardinals, but in that same story mentioned that for Klint Kubiak, it was Raiders or a return to Seattle as the offensive coordinator. And we originally touched on this yesterday, but I'm still trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together as to why a week or so out from the Super Bowl, Klint Kubiak would take an interview if he's not actually serious about the gig. If it really is Raiders or bust, and there was another report this morning, and I apologize for not having it in front of me to give credit where credit is due, but there was a report this morning that the Raiders and Kubiak have agreed to when their interview is going to take place, and that person classified it as it's Kubiak's job to lose, meaning he is the Raiders guy, and unless he just flunks the interview, he is going to be offered that job. And so I can't figure out why he would take an interview with the Arizona Cardinals. And there's one word that keeps coming up. I'm sure you've heard it, producer Evan. All I keep hearing about is leverage. Using the Cardinals as leverage to get a better deal out of Seattle if he goes back to being the OC. leverage to get more out of the Las Vegas Raiders. When the leverage is extremely obvious to people like you and me, it's not actually leverage. Like teams and agents and GMs and people, they can see through that. If the leverage is very obvious, you don't actually have any leverage. And I don't know if Klint Kubiak is the type, when he's preparing to try to win a Super Bowl, to play the leverage game. So that leads me to the question of, are the Cardinals actually players in the Klint Kubiak sweepstakes? Because honestly, if I was Seattle, if I was ownership, if I was the front office, if I was a higher up, I understand Klint Kubiak probably has a dream of being a head coach. Boy, would it tick me off if he's taking interviews for jobs he's not actually serious about when we're getting ready to try to win the championship. Like, it would bother me. If you're Mike McDonald, you're going to have your guys back. You're going to root for him, so you're going to support him. But if I was in the front office, if I was higher up in ownership, it would bother me. Listen, if you're serious,
grind my gears.
If you're serious about the Raiders gig, fine, I can understand that. But if you're taking interviews to play a leverage game 7-8 days out of the Super Bowl, 9-10 days out of the Super Bowl, what are we doing here? That would be how I would feel. So I wonder if the Cardinals are actually players in this. Now, it doesn't feel like that. It feels very performative. It feels like an attempt for leverage. But does Klint Kubiak really need the Arizona Cardinals for leverage? The reports are the Raiders are going to make him their next head coach, so he can just play the Raiders off of Seattle. If he wants leverage, he doesn't need a third team to be in the mix. So the leverage argument doesn't really add up to me. I understand why that's what everybody jumps to. He needs leverage if the Raiders aren't serious. The Cardinals then can be leveraged to get more out of Seattle. But we know the Raiders want to talk to him. We know he wants to talk to the Raiders. We know that it's Raiders or bust for him. So he doesn't need a third entity to create leverage. And what? Is Seattle going to pay him so much more to be the offensive coordinator that he's going to say no to the head coaching job of the Las Vegas Raiders? We know that's not going to happen. So how much leverage do you really have comparing a head coach job to an offensive coordinator job? Now, if you want to say Raiders are not in and it's the Cardinals and the Seahawks, you want to bring in Michael Bidwell and maybe not paying coaches the going rate, now we're talking about how Seattle can bridge that money gap and I may want to stay in Seattle. But that's not the reality on the ground. The reality on the ground is he's taking an interview with the Las Vegas Raiders. Ergo, he doesn't need the Cardinals for leverage. He's got all the leverage he wants. What? He needs to get more out of the Las Vegas Raiders? They're offering him a head coach job. It's probably coming with a double-digit $1 million a year salary. They're paying him at least 10, right? 10, 12, 14, $15 million a season?
Yeah, probably. I was going to say 12.
What's Seattle getting to try to get him to come back to be the offensive coordinator?
For an offensive 8 max, honestly.
What's the top coordinator get in the sport right now? I don't know the answer to the question. What do we think the top offensive coordinator, what do you think Mike McDaniel got to go be the offensive coordinator in LA?
$6 million.
Do we know who that is?
Chip Kelly last year was $6 million. There's no reports this year.
Oh, and can you give me one piece of information there, producer Evan? So Chip Kelly was the highest paid offensive coordinator last year, right?
Yes.
Who did he coach for? Do you mind telling me that real quick?
The Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh, so the Raiders just will throw money around to coaches.
Correct.
So we don't need leverage. Because I don't think Chip Kelly had leverage when he got the Raiders gig.
Pete Carroll salary. Raiders. What do you think Pete Carroll made last year?
Pete probably made 12 or 15.
16. $16 million.
So do we really need the Arizona Cardinals for leverage? I don't think that's what's going on here. And I don't think if the best last year was the Raiders at 6, Seattle's not going past 6. He's going to make more than double to go be the head coach of the Raiders. He doesn't need leverage. He doesn't need it. So he's taking this interview maybe because he's serious. That's the only reason you take this interview.
That's what I think.
Unless his agent's telling him that it's going to create some type of leverage, I just don't see it.
What leverage is it going to create? Now when I think I'm going to get a $13 million offer from the Raiders.
Leverage means it gives you more. In this instance, the leverage you create maximizes what you can get financially, right?
Correct.
Do we think the Raiders are going to lose out on Klint Kubiak take the Cardinals aside for a second, right? Do we think the Raiders, if they love Klint Kubiak, are going to allow him to go back to Seattle over money?
No.
If they love Klint Kubiak, they're going to give him exactly what he wants to make him their next head coach.
Correct.
What do the Cardinals have to do with that?
Nothing.
Does he think that the Cardinals being interested and willing to offer, $8 or $10 million gets the Raiders to go to $18, $19 million? I don't think that happens.
No, I don't either.
Again, the Cardinals don't actually create the leverage that I think people think their presence creates. So I don't know why you take the interview unless you're serious. Now, I'm skeptical that the interview ever happens. I don't know if that's a good buy or sell for the top of the hour, but I would be surprised if the interview actually takes place between the Cardinals and Klint Kubiak.
Yeah, I would too.
And
he may have a job.
I am still, and Michael brings up a great point. The Raiders aren't going to let him out of the building. Now, they technically have to because he has to go coach in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they can't.
So they can't actually do this. They have to wait. But your sentiment, Michael, is heard. It's understood that, yes, like if they get him in the building, they're going to make sure that they have a wink, wink, nudge, nudge agreement, and it's a done deal. So if the Raiders have their interview first, he's not getting to the Cardinals interview. It's not happening. He has the leverage once he steps into the building with the Raiders, not with the Cardinals. He has the leverage once he steps into the building. So we'll see. We'll see if the interview ever happens. We'll see if it is actually for leverage. I don't see it. But it is reported that he is going to meet with the Arizona Cardinals. We'll see if it ends up happening. But I just don't see why he would do it. I don't understand it from his perspective. I don't understand it from the Cardinals' perspective, unless you've gotten some hint that he is actually serious about taking your job. But that would be like a late piece of breaking news. I mean, that would be so late in the process finding that out. So we'll just have to wait and see. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also hang out with us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. Hey, big win last night for the Arizona State Sun Devils women's basketball team over the University of Arizona. Moved to 18-4 on the season, 5-4 in the Big 12 with a win. Maybe you want to go out and see some ASU women's basketball. How about this? 2 tickets to Sun Devil women's basketball for $10.60 for the rest of the season. All the home games. When you go on to the website to buy tickets, just use the promo code 1060. Or if you go to KDUS1060.com under the ASU Women's Basketball tab, we've got a link. It will apply the promo code for you directly, and you can get a pair of tickets to go out and see Sun Devil Women's Basketball, all the home games for the remainder of the season. You pick a game, pair of tickets, $10.60 to go see a team that just beat U of A last night. I got to go rub that into some of the U of A colleagues we have.
Take our victory lap.
That's right. We got some ASU, we got some U of A colleagues here in the building. Maybe I'll go.
We deserve all of them.
Pay them a visit here after the program. So yeah, you want to go to a home game the rest of the season, you can get a pair of tickets for $10.60. If you go on and you buy your tickets, enter the promo code 1060. Or if you go to KDUS1060.com under the ASU Women's Basketball tab, you click on the link for the tickets, the promo code will automatically be applied for you. When we come back, has a reunion hit a roadblock? That's next, the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
NAU men's basketball continues on both KAZG 1440 and KDUS AM 1060 this Thursday. Join the Lumberjacks as they look to defend home court against Eastern Washington. Head coach Shane Burkhardt knows his team has the tools they need in order to score another home win. Join Mitch Stroman on the call live. It's NAU versus Eastern Washington this Thursday. Pregame at 5:30 p.m. over on KAZG 1440 and tip-off at 6 also on KDUS AM 1060.
Sometimes the great ones just keep getting greater. 7-time Grammy winner Gladys Knight has rolled out hit after hit over her illustrious career. Don't miss Gladys Knight Saturday, March 7th at 7:30 p.m. Tickets on sale now at celebritytheater.com. Brought to you by Danny Zalisco Presents.
Maybe you've had your eye on a Fulton home. the premium craftsmanship, thoughtfully designed floor plans, resort-style amenities, and award-winning communities across the valley. A place where every detail feels intentional. For many buyers, homeownership can feel out of reach. But now, owning a Fulton home is more attainable than ever. With special pricing, limited time incentives, and interest rate buydowns on select homes, now is the right moment to make your move. From beautifully designed interiors to the legendary quality Fulton Homes is known for, every detail is built to stand the test of time. Visit any Fulton Homes community today or go to fultonhomes.com. Fulton Homes. You're proud to own. We're proud to build.
Hey, Mom. It's me. Oh my gosh, you'll never believe what I just opened for Valentine's Day. A sapphire ring from Helzberg, just like the one I lost years ago. Remember how excited I was when you gave it to me? I cannot believe you remembered that story. I guess you were right. I really found the one.
This Valentine's Day, create a moment that means something with up to 40% off gifts at Helzberg. Shop in store or at helzberg.com.
KDUS AM 1060 is your home for the Jim Rome Show.
Indiana is not cheating. Lining up and punching the other guy in the face for 60 minutes, not against the rules. I challenge any of you social media whistleblowers to tell Kurt Signetti to his face that he is a cheater.
The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
How about a little baseball to close up hour number 1 of the lunch break? Yes, baseball. It's a sport. They play it here in the Valley. I know we've spent all of the week talking about the Cardinals and the Suns, but it did feel like a good time to give everybody an update on the Paul Goldschmidt situation, because it feels like that market is starting to heat up a little bit after it being really cold, really dormant, basically non-existent for a large majority of the offseason. It does feel like the burner on the stove is, I don't want to say it's hot, but it's warm. You touch it and you feel the warmth. It's not cool to the touch. And that's because the Yankees have expressed interest in bringing back Paul Goldschmidt on another 1-year deal, very similar to the 1-year deal that they gave him last year. They don't see him as a regular everyday player in their lineup, so that's kind of the holdup for why he hasn't gone back there. The Cleveland Guardians have shown some interest in bringing in Paul Goldschmidt to help them out. And then there are the Diamondbacks, and it's been floated out there that the two sides are interested in a reunion, but they need to match up on value. And they really, it appears, for Paul Goldschmidt, need to match up on role. That's really the deciding factor here for Paul Goldschmidt. I get the sense that he feels still that at 38 years of age, he can be a regular everyday player. And I don't want to talk bad about Paul Goldschmidt, but that's not the role I foresee him having on a team in 2026. I think best case for the Diamondbacks, he is your right-handed side of a platoon over at first base, and he can be a guy you throw in for defense late on days when he's not playing. And maybe he can also be a DH option at times as well. I don't see him being a guy that's playing 150, 160 games. He is a right-handed platoon guy, so hits against the lefties, so maybe that's 1-2 starts a week. He's a pinch hitter off the bench late when you need him. Maybe he's a DH option. He's a defensive replacement, and you find ways to get him involved all throughout a baseball week. But he is not an everyday player, not at 38 years of age. His defense has been declining over the last couple of years. I still think he can be fine over there, but he hasn't hit right-handed pitching well in the last couple of years. The platoon splits, he's been crushing lefties. I think he had an over 900 OPS last year against lefties. I mean, he's just a tailor-made at this stage of his career platoon player, and that's okay. And it's okay if the Diamondbacks feel like they can't agree on a role and Paul Goldschmidt goes someplace else. If he feels like there's another place that's going to give him everyday at-bats, more power to Paul Goldschmidt. But I just don't see that being the ideal role for him here, especially because I want to see Pavin Smith get an opportunity against righties. I want to see maybe Tyler Locklear get some chances late in the season. Adrian Del Castillo may play some first base. I want to keep that spot as open and as flexible and fluid as possible so that I can give some of these young players a chance.
And I also think first base is one of those positions where if you're in a spot in July where, like, man, if they could just add a first baseman or add a bat, you have that flexibility now. And so, listen, I don't think the Goldy thing will happen here. I think he could have been a valuable piece for the right price because you just have to know what you're getting now.
I'm not worried about price. I think that's the easy part for the Diamondbacks, and I think Ken Kendrick would break his own rules for somebody like Paul Goldschmidt on a 1-year deal. And I do think there is a difference in breaking your rules and the budget that you had set forth for Alex Bregman on a 5-6-year deal for $150+ million than it is breaking your rules for a player that is a hometown favorite like Paul Goldschmidt on a 1-year deal, a 1-year commitment, when you'll probably make all of that back in merch and ticket sales because of his presence. So I could see them breaking the rules. Price isn't the worry for me. It's role. Because apparently the reason why he hasn't already gone back to the Yankees is because they see him the same way that I've described him as. A platoon player, not an everyday player, a role player. A very important role, but a role player. And ideally, if you bring Paul Goldschmidt in, you have a successful season, you can make a playoff run, you have some fun with Paul Goldschmidt along the way. But I believe the second most ideal thing that could happen for the Diamondbacks is you bring in Paul Goldschmidt, he plays well, maybe the team doesn't play well, and you've got a trade chip at the deadline for somebody who wants to add some power against lefties on a 1-year deal, expiring contract, some oomph for some power for their lineup down the stretch. That's the second most ideal scenario for the Diamondbacks if you bring in Paul Goldschmidt. But you have to agree on the role, and I think that's what the holdup is. He's just not an everyday player, not at 38 years old.
Not anymore.
Because even if you tried to make him an everyday player, I just think he would break down.
I agree.
I know he's not playing a premier defensive position.
Health would be an issue.
It's not like I'm asking a 38-year-old to play center field every day for 150, 160 games. But I just don't see a world where a 38, almost 39-year-old Paul Goldschmidt can play 150 games at first base and be a productive member of the lineup every day.
You're sacrificing some. He was not effective against right-handed pitching last year. He was really bad.
Not effective. He is a lefty masher at this stage of his career. That's what he is. He's not even the Gold Glove defensive player that he was.
No.
I think he can be fine. I think he can be serviceable. But he's not like a slam dunk
I think
platinum glover over there.
I was going to say, I think we've seen it worse because he, at 37 to 38, he has been getting 150 starts at first base.
It's been a decline defensively over the last couple of years.
I think if you give him less innings, you will see him play a better first base.
Do you have his numbers up?
I don't.
I just want to know how many games he played for the Yankees last year. And how many games he played the year before that. What was that, his last year in St. Louis? I just want to see where the trend has been for Goldschmidt over the last couple of years.
Yeah, so last year, he played 146 games.
Yeah, I'll take the under on 146 games for Paul Goldschmidt.
Yeah, and then St. Louis in 24 and 23 played 154.
Now, that's 146 can be a misleading number because how many of those games did he come in as a pinch hitter? And then didn't go in the field for defense, had one at bat against a lefty.
Yeah,
late.
let me find how many games he started at first base.
Yeah, that would be nice. How many games started, and include the DH starts in there as well. Fangraph should have that number for you, how many games he started.
Yeah.
Because that's, I think, a more accurate reflection of what his role was last year. Because if he comes here, I want him to be that when a righty is starting, he's my top bench option when they go to a lefty. Right? That's what I want him to be. I just don't want him starting 140 games, but I don't think he did that for the Yankees. My guess, it was probably maybe in the 110, 120 range.
100 even.
100 even. That's I think, more reasonable. Maybe it's more 80 or 90, but that feels more reasonable. And so if he wants that role again, sign me up for that for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Maybe he wants more. And maybe there's a team out there, Cleveland, that's willing to give it to him. Hour number 1 of the program in the books, a little buy or sell to open up hour number 2 of the program next. Thanks for hanging out with us. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix. If you're hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, choose the attorneys at Sweet James. They help you navigate the legal process and pursue the compensation you may be entitled to. Free case review. Help available 24/7. Hablamos Español. 809 $809 million. SweetJames.com. This advertisement is paid for by Sweet James LLP. Responsible attorney, Bobby Tick-Heavy. Offices in California. No guarantee of results.
For over 50 years, they redefined rock. The spirit lives on.
Monday warrior, mean strike. Today's Tom Sawyer, mean pride.
Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson celebrate 50 years of Rush 50-something tour, December 1st and 3rd, 2026, Desert Diamond Arena. Tickets are on sale now at rush.com. Legends don't stop. They evolve. Rush.
What would you do if you could multiply your cash? Would you multiply your vacations? Multiply your relaxation? Or multiply your celebrations? With multiplier scratchers from the Arizona Lottery, you can multiply all the good things like vacations, relaxation, and celebrations. Play multiplier scratchers for over $270 million in prizes and multiply your fun. Arizona Lottery. Love the play.
Your dental health affects your whole body's wellness. Got a broken tooth or need a crown? At Arizona Crown Center, you can expect care focused on crowns and bridges for just $6.99 per tooth, including your x-ray. That's less than half the usual cost. With Arizona Crown Center, expect top quality, efficient treatment backed by a 3-year unconditional guarantee, and even same-day service. They keep it simple and affordable, so you can enjoy the foods you love without worry. Plus, their friendly team makes every visit comfortable and easy. Whether it's your first crown or replacing an old one, they personalize your care to fit you. That's something to really smile about. Don't live with discomfort. Visit azcrowncenter.com for your free consultation today. Serving the Valley for over 20 years with offices in Chandler, Surprise, and Prescott. Get premium dental crowns and bridges at a price that fits your budget. azcrowncenter.com. That's azcrowncenter.com. Your smile's best friend.
Hey, it's Phil Shaver with HomeSmart, and I want to buy your house. I'm a local investor that buys homes for cash all over Maricopa and Pinell County. I buy inherited homes, nice homes, rental homes, homes that are behind on mortgage payments, and I even buy ugly homes that need fixing. Also, are you looking to get closer to market value for your house? As a licensed realtor, I've been able to buy and sell thousands of homes. Since I'm local, you can call me directly on my cell phone, 480-409-9999. Again, that's 480-409-9999. I don't work for a big corporation or hedge fund, so I can only buy 3 to 5 homes per month. There are no fees involved, and you can pick your own close date. The best part is I buy homes as is, so you don't have to worry about doing any repairs. Again, you can call me directly at 480-409-9999, or you can go to my website, gosoldaz.com. That's gosoldaz.com.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Okay, let's waste little time. Hour number 2 of the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060, Chris Schubert, producer Evan, you know the drill. It's buy or sell time. And if you're new here, welcome. Grab a seat. We got the drinks and snacks in the corner. Enjoy a little buy or sell. The hottest takes in the valley right here. I have 2 choices. I can buy or sell the take. That's it. In the rare occasion I put a take on layaway, we address it in the future.
You ready to go?
I haven't put a take on layaway in a while.
Not in months.
I don't want to open this can of worms, but I am. So I apologize in advance. Do I have any outstanding takes on layaway?
You do not.
Okay, so
we are all settled.
You are keeping track of when I put a take on layaway. It's
correct.
Okay.
We are all settled.
We are all settled. Okay, yep. Good.
Jalen Green will not play tonight.
Come on, man. Why do we got to start with this?
Because that's what we have to. The people, listen, I'm just giving the people what they want.
Do the people really want me to buy this take that he's not going to play tonight? Really? That's what the people
want?
Well,
they want an answer from you.
I don't know. I'm not on the Suns medical staff. I haven't been in practice. I don't know. Oh, I mean, this is so like low risk. If I get it wrong, I get it wrong. I'll be optimistic. I will sell the take. He plays tonight.
Nice. The Suns.
He plays tonight because he's not going to play tomorrow night. We're going to get the 2 days off, and then he's going to play on Sunday. I'm going to be very methodical and logical about this.
Correct.
He's not going to play tomorrow because then it's only 1 day off in between games. We're gonna take advantage of the schedule to maximize the days off for Jalen Green because we know he's not playing a back-to-back.
Correct. The Suns will win 2 of their next 3 games, even without Devin Booker.
Detroit, Cleveland, and LA. You want me to say that they're going to win 2 of these 3 games?
Yes. Need to take one of Detroit and Cleveland. You can beat the Clippers.
Clippers have been good lately.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't. That's not being a good radio host. You just can't make noise. You want to give me?
They've been fine.
You want to give me more than just?
No, I just think that like everybody's always like the Clippers look good for like a week at a time. I've heard this 1,000 times over the last 3 years.
Okay,
and guess what? They still stink.
I didn't say they were going to win the championship. I didn't say they were going to be the 1 seed in the West. All I said was they're playing. They're 9-1 in their last 10. They won 3 in a row. They're playing well. That's an objectively true statement. And your response was, meh.
Yeah, I just think it'll end by Sunday.
Now, you have played them previously this season. You lost to them the second game of the season. You then beat them twice out in L.A. You beat them once in L.A., once at home in November. So you're 2-1 against them this season. Yeah, you should beat them. You are the better basketball team. I'll buy. They can win 2 of their next 3.
Requires you to beat one of Cleveland or Detroit.
I think they can do that, no?
Certainly. Ryan Waldschmidt will make his Diamondbacks debut before the end of May.
Now, they are facing the Pistons, who are 8-2 in their last 10. They've won 2 in a row. And the Cavs have won 5 in a row, and they're also 8-2 in their last 10.
Yeah, no, they're playing the hottest teams in the league.
So they're playing the hottest teams in the league here coming up, but I still think they will win 2 of 3. I'm sorry, you asked me a Ryan Waldschmidt question.
Yes, I did. Ryan Waldschmidt will make his D-backs debut before the end of May.
I'm doing math in my head. Because the Diamondbacks are one of the organizations, and most organizations do this. They're going to figure out the service time. They're going to manipulate. Now, if they call up Waldschmidt and he wins the Rookie of the Year, then they get an additional draft pick for doing so, right? If he wins awards, and so that's the league's way of trying to promote the idea of aggressive call-ups from these organizations. But I do think the Diamondbacks will play it safe and call him up later. So I don't know when the exact date will be.
It's later than May.
Can I amend your take a little bit? He comes up in the first half of the season.
Okay.
He comes up pre All-Star break.
Rented. You rented this take.
I'm renting this take. Yes, I'm renting it.
I'm not going with you renting.
I'm not ready to finance it fully. I'm not ready to.
No, and I wouldn't say that, but you want a piece of it.
I want a piece of this take.
You headed into the Blockbuster. You got to return it though in 3 days.
Oh, I was doing more of the car analogy that I don't want to buy the car outright. I want to lease the car for a couple of years.
Yeah.
But your analogy is good too. I'm renting the movie. I have to bring it back.
I got a question for you.
Sure.
How did you hang out in a lot of Blockbusters?
Oh, we had one right around the corner from my house. You want to talk about, it was in a strip mall. You want to talk about a strip mall that had everything. The one end was the Blockbuster.
Nice.
The other end was a pizza place. So the pizza place was on the left corner. The Blockbuster was on the right corner. In between, a Baskin-Robbins ice cream place.
Nice.
A Subway.
Nice.
Those were the staples. Everything else was kind of rotating through. But Friday night, you wanted pizza night and movies, done. Friday night, you wanted a sub and a movie, done. It was excellent.
We had ours was right next to a Chinese place.
You know what? There was a Chinese place in there as well.
I feel like we always did that. We would do Blockbuster.
Yeah, there was a Chinese food establishment as well.
Yeah, Blockbuster was awesome.
Blockbuster was awesome.
For years, not for years. I had a background for Zoom. Like, when people were doing Zoom, we had like a family event on Zoom once during the pandemic. And so I set my background as outside of Blockbuster because it was funny, right? Like, I got some chuckles. I walked into, I zoomed into my first college class during the pandemic.
Left that on.
I'm behind a Blockbuster. I'm like, no. Welcome to college.
There was nothing like going into the Blockbuster as a kid, and at least for me, because, and this this drop has never been more applicable.
I'm a huge nerd.
Right to the video game section. Right to see what video games the Blockbuster had available. My dad would pick up a couple of movies. I would rent the video game.
See, I don't even think you could do that.
Oh, you could rent all sorts of video games.
Yeah, it's awesome.
All of the modern consoles at the time, you could get it at a Blockbuster.
Wow, that's crazy.
And the Blockbuster just had a certain smell to it.
Wait, you could rent the system?
No, you could rent the game itself.
Okay.
For the system.
Yeah, okay.
So, like, if I had a game that I wanted to test out on my PS2 at the time.
Yeah, you could.
Get it from the Blockbuster.
I like it.
It was great.
Yeah, that's awesome. Tom Brady won't be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
So you were on this in the morning meeting. You think because of what happened to Bill that the same thing is going to happen to Brady?
Well, now they have to.
Okay, that part I agree with. Will they? No, I sell the take.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Did I see a report this morning that they're like changing or they're letting some of the voters go?
So they put out a press release. And I know this because I am on, I don't know how I got on it, probably in my variety of media jobs that I've held in this space. But I don't remember signing up for it. But I am on the Hall of Fame Communications email chain.
Oh, nice.
So I get every press release. Most of them are just a quick delete. This one I clicked on, considering what has been going on for the last couple of days. So I will read you the press release because I have it here in front of me. The Pro Football Hall of Fame understands and respects the passionate reaction of many fans, media members, and enshrinees of the Hall itself in light of published reports regarding the voting results for the class of 2026. It's that very passion that propels the game. The Hall also respects the members of the selection committee when they follow the selection process bylaws. It is an honor to serve as a selector. Each year, the Hall reviews the selection process and the composition of the 50-person selection committee. If it is determined that any member or members violated the selection process bylaws, they understand action will be taken. That could include the possibility that such selector or selectors would not remain a member of the committee moving forward. The selection of a new class is the most important duty the Hall of Fame oversees each year, and the integrity of that process cannot be in question. That was the press release put out yesterday. So no, they didn't actually remove people, but they basically said, hey, if we find out that you violated the rules, and by the way, one of the rules is you can't talk about the process, they can remove some people from the committee.
I saw T.O. retweeted that press release and said they didn't do this when I didn't get in 16 and 17. Also ridiculous.
Not wrong. He's also not wrong.
But
that they didn't put out a statement like that.
Yeah. It's also ridiculous that he was not a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's the third greatest receiver in the game.
I think yesterday you said he was the second greatest receiver. So, he's moving down the scale as we get further and further away from your impassioned rant yesterday.
Can I be honest? I think it goes Jerry, Randy, T.O.
Okay. I can get on board with that.
Your thoughts on that?
I don't see any major problems with it.
Jerry, Randy, T.O. I don't know who 4 is. Maybe Calvin. Peak was awesome.
It was just such a short run.
A short run. Giannis will be traded to the New York Knicks.
So Giannis wants a trade. Milwaukee's finally open to talking about a trade. Miami and New York are the two hot destinations because they're the teams that can offer the most. Funny enough, they can.
I swear Miami is hot around every trade deadline in the history of the NBA.
Well, it's kind of the reason why Pat Riley has crafted this roster in the way that he has. He's always keeping his options open for a big fish. Kevin Durant last year. Now Giannis this go around. LeBron in all those years ago, right? He likes to keep his options open. And so Miami is a hot name just because they have so many draft picks that they can move. But both New York and Miami can offer more in the summertime. More picks open up to them in the summertime. Apparently, Miami goes from being able to offer 2 picks to 4 firsts in the summer. So I don't think this happens right now. Like, this feels like a summertime draft season type move so that Milwaukee can get the most. But the thing you got to be careful with, Giannis is going to have a lot of power in this. If he tells Miami, I'm not going to sign an extension with you, does Miami want to give all that up for, a year and a half of Giannis?
Yeah.
If he only wants to go to New York, if he only wants to go to Miami, that complicates what Milwaukee can get back for him. Now, there may be some teams that are more willing to take the risk and get him on a rental and give up something to get him right now.
You lose leverage.
You lose some leverage. We'll see. But
See what I did
I do think he gets traded. I don't know if it will be for Miami, so I will sell the take. I'll take the field. How about that?
Take the field.
Which is shocking that I took the field.
ASU women's basketball.
Oh, what a big win last night.
The best team in the Valley right now.
What a big win last night. Holly Miller hyped up postgame. Fired up for the big win over the
that was an awesome video.
The best team in the Valley? No, the Phoenix Suns are the best team in the Valley. Please. Come on. Both are bright spots. No doubt about it.
What's women's basketball? 18-4?
18-4, 5-4 in the Big 12. You can listen to them this Sunday right here on KDUS AM 1060, 1:30 pregame as they take on Oklahoma State.
It's a big one.
There are 4 teams ranked in the Big 12 in the top 25.
Okay.
The Sun Devils are in that next tier of 3 teams. So they're close. They're close to maybe getting
knocking on the door
inside that top 25. They need some more Big 12 wins. They also need some wins against top 25 teams. They're 0-2 this season against top 25 teams. So got to start pulling off those marquee victories.
You get 1 or 2 marquee victories.
Those quad 1 wins.
They do that too for women's
basketball? I don't know. We do it in on the men's side, so I could just kind of use it in all sports.
And I'm still very confused. Like a quad 1 win at home is like it has to be a top 50 team.
Yeah, and it's different. And then a win can evolve over the course of a season. So you can beat a team, and at the time it could be a quad 3 win.
Yeah.
But if that team gets hot, all of a sudden
it's a quad 2
it then becomes a quad 1 win or a quad 2 win. So a lot of moving parts. But no, I think that the spirit of your take is that they are a bright spot here in the Valley, and I would agree overall. They have been a massive, massive bright spot. Coach Miller has hit the ground running. We've been lucky enough to have her on the program here a couple of times, and just in the few conversations that we've had with her, and you can also get this from her coach's show, In the Huddle, that airs here on KDUS AM 1060. The passion, just the excitement that she has around this program, you can feel it in those conversations with her.
Certainly, and they've been fun to watch.
Fun to watch, no doubt.
That's all I got for you.
Another edition of Buy or Sell in the Books. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to hang out with us here today on the program. You can listen on the KDUS AM 1060 app. And you can listen over there for your chance to win 2 tickets to the MLB Players Trust Playmakers Classic at Warehouse 215 on Wednesday, February 18th. They're going to have it all. Live broadcasts, behind-the-scenes access, live performances, food and drink. Fanatics is going to have custom experiences and activations. We've got your chance to win a pair of tickets for listening on the KDUS AM 1060 app. When we return, how bad would it be if the Cardinals missed on Michael LaFleur and Klint Kubiak? We'll try to figure it out next. It's the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
James Out West, your desert destination for sports here in the Valley.
Not surprised that the Cardinals aren't in. They fired their head coach. Kyler Murray's probably on his way out. It is what they like to call Black Monday. I'm kind of surprised by the Raheem Morris one in Atlanta. It's only been how long? Year? 2 years. So maybe that one. Pete Carroll gone. I told you from the jump when they hired Pete Carroll, I didn't like the hire. I think he's past his due. Let him go after year 1. You might as well have kept the guy you had before and saved a bunch of money.
Every other Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060.
They're going to go nuts when he hits this thing. He went in.
The People's Open is back. See the PGA Tour's best tee it up at the 2026 WM Phoenix Open, February 2nd through the 8th at TPC Scottsdale. Get tournament and ticket info at WMPhoenixOpen.com.
It's frustrating when people intervene on you, but they have problems of their own. It's like when someone sends you a text, but the text comes from their email address. I hate this. Your name at iCloud, they FaceTime you from their email address? Are you calling on a child's iPad?
Emmy-winning comedian John Mulaney announces his new tour, Mr. Whatever. Celebrity Theater, Friday, March 6th. Tickets on sale now at etix.com.
Meineke's highly skilled and certified technicians always treat your car like it's their own. With over 50 years of experience, Meineke will diagnose and fix any issue with precision and care using the best state-of-the-art equipment. You can always depend on Meineke to do the job right and get you back on the road in no time. Save time and schedule an appointment now. Visit Meineke.com today. Trust your key with Meineke. Meineke, doing car care right.
When is Kate getting here?
Should be any minute. She was on one of her Goodwill treasure hunts.
Treasure hunt?
Oh, here she comes. And in an amazing new jacket.
Ready to rock, guys?
You definitely are.
Where'd you get that?
Don't you love it? I got it at Goodwill.
Kate got it at Goodwill. With hundreds of thousands of unique items arriving in-store daily, you can get it at Goodwill too. Find your convenient neighborhood location at goodwillaz.org. Nonprofit for good.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. The Giannis trade saga is going to dominate NBA conversations all the way to the All-Star break and the NBA trade deadline. It's clear he wants out. Just as clear, the Bucks are no longer the intimidating force they once were. Both can still be true. What should not be true is Milwaukee rushing the process. You don't hurry when you're holding a two-time MVP. The Bucks cannot afford to settle for a, quote, good package. This has to be something that changes the franchise. You can say, let's help out Giannis. More importantly, you got to help out yourself. If nothing at the deadline truly moves the needle, patience is the smarter play. Summer trades open more doors. Teams have flexibility and cap sheets change. This is when the bidding wars are born. Giannis's time in Milwaukee appears to be up. What matters now is how fast the Bucks move, but also how smart they move. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 60, puts you right in the center of the biggest game of the year. And when anything can happen during the Super Bowl, DraftKings has your back with an early exit. If a player goes down in the first half, you still get paid out in cash immediately once your bet settles. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code Patrick. Code Patrick to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, wager tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 plus in most states, void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer. KDUS AM 1060 is your home for the Jim Rome Show.
I'm not here to bury Mike Tomlin, but the fact is, this absolutely is the right move. He did the right thing, and he fired himself. All good things come to an end. Going a decade without winning a single playoff game is not meeting the standard.
The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
We opened up the show today, and this is the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert and producer Evan hanging out with you. We opened up the show today telling you to relax. To quote producer Evan's favorite quarterback, RELAX, relax. Everything's going to be just fine, at least as of right now. Panicking not going to get us anywhere. Just calm down, let the process play out when it comes to the Cardinals and their coaching search, because mostly this has gone according to plan. It's actually gone mostly in their favor. But I do want to, for just a brief second here, explore the possibility that they whiff. And how bad that would be, because that's the fear that everybody has today. The fear is that Klint Kubiak uses them for leverage. I don't know how much leverage actually exists, but that's what he does. Michael LaFleur sees this and says, you know what, thanks, but no thanks. I'm not going to be used as a chess piece on this chessboard. And the Cardinals miss out on the two big-time candidates that are still left in this coaching cycle. And now they're the ones with egg on their face. They now have to circle back to Raheem Morris or Anthony Weaver or that tier of retread coaches, Vance Joseph, Arthur Smith, Matt Nagy, that group of candidate that's out there. And how bad would it be? Well, that's where you start to enter the case of it being embarrassing. Because remember, Anthony Campanelli withdrew his name from this hire. Said he was going to go back to Jacksonville as the DC. So you would have lost out on LaFleur. You would have lost out on Kubiak. Campanelli you missed on. Now you start to look like you didn't have a plan here. Right now, I think you have a plan. I do. Right now, I think you have a plan in place to get your next head coach. If I find out that LaFleur withdraws just the same way that Campanelli withdraws, and Kubiak uses you as leverage, and he doesn't pick here, and now I'm starting to think that either you didn't have a plan or that your plan stunk. But right now, I think you have a plan. But what would the pivot look like? Well, we know, because Diana Rossini said it today, that there are three people that are kind of just hanging out in limbo right now when it comes to this Cardinals job. It's Mike LaFleur, it's Raheem Morris, and it's Anthony Weaver. Those are the three names that are apparently in limbo right now. That was Diana Rossini of The Athletic reporting that this morning on her podcast. She didn't mention Klint Kubiak. She mentioned that originally the Cardinals went into this with the idea of they wanted to hire an offensive mind. And she closed the podcast clip that I saw this morning by saying they're not sold in that direction anymore. They don't have to go offense only. They are open to other candidates. And that's where I think Anthony Campanelli came into the mix. That's where maybe Anthony Weaver's going to ultimately play a role in all of this. But that's the pivot. The pivot is to either Raheem Morris or Anthony Weaver. And if they whiff on both of these guys, you can now call this embarrassing. If they whiff on LaFleur and they whiff on Kubiak and they let Anthony Campanelli leave the building and withdraw his name from consideration, you now can call this embarrassing. You can now call this a failed process. You can now say the Cardinals didn't know what they were doing. And yet again, Michael Bidwell, Monty Ossenfort messed this up. They screwed it up. I would argue right now everything is going according to plan. The dominoes are falling in their way. Some of the best candidates that we thought made sense for the Cardinals are still available. Everything right now is going according to plan. You whiff on both of these guys this week, rip up the plan. The plan didn't exist. It was a bad plan. You didn't handle this correctly. You didn't play the chess game correctly. And then you got to pivot. And the pivot is to one of two names. It's either going to be to Raheem Morris or it's going to be to Anthony Weaver. That's who the next head coach of the Arizona Cardinals is going to be. And I do think it would be a really, really bad look. But again, to tie this back into the open, it is not a bad look yet. It will be a bad look if they miss on LaFleur because they see the carrot getting dangled out there about Klint Kubiak, and they allow that to distract them, and it makes them miss out on Mike LaFleur. But I have long said this. I don't know if that's really the case here. Where's Mike LaFleur going to go? Back to the Rams? Because there's no other gig that he's getting. And he clearly had, at worst, a modest level of interest to spend 2 days here with you. There was a report from the Senior Bowl yesterday, I think it was Mike Garafolo, that momentum was building for a deal to be done on Tuesday. Things were trending in a good direction, meaning those 2 days went well between Mike LaFleur and the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals got what they wanted out of the conversation. And more importantly, I would say, Michael LaFleur got what he wanted out of that 2-day visit. So if the momentum was building on Tuesday, what changed? But more importantly, if the momentum was building, that means Michael LaFleur wanted to be here. And if Michael LaFleur wanted to be here, I think he's still going to be here at the end of the day. He is still going to be a realistic candidate after this, whatever goes on with Klint Kubiak over the next couple of days. Because remember, he can't take an interview starting on Sunday, right? The week of the Super Bowl, he cannot take interviews. So it's today, it's tomorrow, it's Saturday, it's maybe Sunday. I don't know exactly how the rule is written. But it is a very short window for the Cardinals to get this in. I'm still skeptical that it does. But my long-standing belief on this is Mike LaFleur is not going anywhere. But boy, it would be a massive whiff, and it would be proof of everything I'm seeing on social media about this Cardinals organization. All of it would be proven correct if they whiff on both of these guys. We're not there yet, but if they whiff on both of these guys, everything I'm currently seeing on social media will be true, and those people can take their victory lap. They can dunk on me. They can dunk on everybody who has said that just relax, let the process play out.
And I just want to make it clear, we are not there yet. That is the biggest thing. We are not there yet because they may interview Klint Kubiak on Friday or Saturday or don't, and have an answer for Mike LaFleur at the end of the week. It could have been very simple, as in, Mike, we love what it is. You know, we think you're our guy. Give us till the end of the week. That could be building momentum to getting a deal signed. But you would be more, I stand by this, I said this earlier, you would be more upset if they signed a deal on Tuesday with Mike LaFleur and then got word on Thursday that they could have an interview with Klint Kubiak. You would be way more upset.
Yes, you would be more upset about that than you are in this current moment. You would be more upset and you would say, oh, typical Cardinals, typical Michael Bidwell, rush the process. All of it would come out. All of it would be said if they hired LaFleur on Tuesday and we found out later and it got leaked that Kubiak wanted to sit down with them with an in-person interview. And everyone would have been like, well, why didn't you take the interview? And so maybe that's what they are doing. They're trying to gauge this. But I don't get the sense, and this is just me, a regular radio host that doesn't have insiders. I'm just an opinion guy. I try to base my opinions in reality and fact and statistics and things that we can all see together. I try to root my opinions in reality. I am not seeing anything that tells me that Mike LaFleur is going to snub the Arizona Cardinals if they went back to him today or tomorrow and offered him the job. I just don't see it. I don't see. And if he was mad, don't you think that would have leaked out by now?
Correct.
That he was upset that he left without a contract?
Correct.
And I haven't seen anything remotely close to that.
Not at all.
I've seen it leak out that there was momentum towards a deal and it didn't happen. And, you know, it was a surprise that it didn't happen, but I'm not seeing the press release like Jacksonville put out that he's returning to the Rams coaching staff. If he was so mad at the Cardinals not offering him the job that when he was here for 2 days, don't you think that press release would already be out that he was returning to the Rams?
Certainly.
Hasn't happened yet. Why? Because I still think I still think we're going to get to play this drop a lot.
LaFleur.
I still think that's in our future. I think there's going to be a lot of Mondays where we talk about
LaFleur
and his job as a coach.
LaFleur.
I still think unless there's a late surge for Klint Kubiak and he all of a sudden wants to take this gig, I think LaFleur, who on Monday was the guy we wanted to take the job. We were happy that he was here for 2 days. We're like, get it done. We LaFleur watch entering day 4, right? We're excited about the possibility of him being the next head coach. Guess what? I'm still going to be excited if they hire him today or they hire him tomorrow or they hire him on Saturday or Sunday. I'm still going to be just as excited as I would have been on Tuesday. And I don't want to hear that the Cardinals have waited 20 plus days to hire a head coach. Guess what? That's how this was always going to play out. And I said this at the beginning. I think it's actually a good thing that they waited as long as they did. So what's a couple of extra days as long as they get their guy? But yes, it would be a double whiff here would be bad.
But I said this earlier.
We're not there yet.
I said this yesterday, I think. You didn't wait through this process to rush it now. You didn't wait through this process to rush it when you got to the goal line.
Right.
With essentially your pick of the litter. You're going to get one of the two, probably. The odds you don't get LaFleur, I just want to be very clear on what I believe they are. 5% or less.
Right.
I think there's a 90% chance that they end up with Mike LaFleur as the coach. I think it's a 2% chance that they end up with Klint Kubiak and maybe an 8% chance that it's somebody else.
That's where I'm at. I mean, I don't know if it would be the same percentages for me, but I still think LaFleur is going to end up being the head coach. I think this Kubiak thing is just kind of a weird detour because they may have gotten some inclination that he's interested, and so they want to see that through. And I don't blame them if they did get some type of signal. I still think we end up with Mike LaFleur as the head coach unless we get the surprise with Kubiak, and I think everything's going to be fine. Still going to be excited about the offseason. Still going to be excited about LaFleur as a head coach. Still going to be excited about the direction of this team, especially on offense. So I understand it's a weird detour, and I understand when everything was trending in one direction, to not see it get to the finish line would be bad, but let's wait. It would be awful. It would be a very bad look. It would be a terrible optic. It would prove everything right if they missed out on both of these guys. I just don't think that's in the cards. And the pun was intended there. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to hang out with us here today on the program. You can also chat away over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube channel. Listen on the KDUS AM 1060 app for your chance to win 2 tickets to the MLB Players Trust Playmakers Classic at Warehouse 215 on Wednesday, February 18th. When we come back, has the price been set for Kyler Murray's departure? That's next on the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Beerstein.
Rams and Seahawks, Andy. I don't understand how to be so aggressive. Instead of definitely going up 13-10, your play calls resulted in a quick punt, so quick that Seattle actually gets the ball back, goes down the field and takes a lead, and then they get the jump on you in the second half with that fumbled punt. And that was a huge mistake by the Rams. But I'm going to go back to how they mismanaged that at halftime.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Sleep isn't just rest, it's restoration. Poor sleep can increase your risk of cognitive decline and dementia. Getting 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep each night helps your brain clear toxins and stay sharp. Research shows that up to 40% of dementia cases could be prevented or delayed by addressing risk factors, including lack of sleep. Tonight, give your brain the rest it deserves. Learn more at alz.org/healthy habits. This message is sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association and the Arizona Department of Health Services.
A night you don't want to miss. Avenged Sevenfold. Good Charlotte. North America Tour 2026. Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater. August 27th. Avenged Sevenfold. Good Charlotte. An epic night of music. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Don't miss Avenged Sevenfold and Good Charlotte, part of the America First Credit Union Concert Series.
Hey guys, if you have low T, it's time to get your edge back. Start testosterone therapy at Red Mountain Weight Loss and get a month of GLP-1 weight loss medications absolutely free. That's a $299 value. Listen, just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel older. Prescription testosterone restores your get up and go, so you'll feel like you're 20 again. Get more muscle with less effort in the gym. You'll also think better, sleep better, and your love life will be better. Look, don't be fooled. Nothing boosts testosterone like actual testosterone. It's a game changer. And if you're looking to lose weight, there's nothing like the combo of testosterone and a GLP-1 medication. It'll burn that belly fat and get you ripped. This month, get free GLP-1 medication, a $299 value, when you start testosterone therapy only at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Book your video appointment today. Go to redmountainweightloss.com or dial pound 250 on your phone. Keyword Red Mountain. Time to get your edge back at Red Mountain Weight Loss.
Rev up the romance this February at Casino Arizona with your chance to win a 2026 Chevrolet Corvette Stingray. Earn entries all February long and join us for weekly drawings every Wednesday where you could win your share of cash and prizes, plus entries into the grand prize drawing. Then on February 25th, 6 lucky winners will be taking home up to $10,000 or the keys to a 2026 Chevrolet Corvette Stingray. Don't miss your chance. Details at CasinoArizona.com. Casino Arizona. Uniquely Arizona. Must be 21 or older. Problem gambling? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
The garage door springs that come standard with most homes don't last. And when they fail, it's not just inconvenient, it's dangerous. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello at A1 Garage Door Service. Our springs are the toughest in the industry, backed by our lifetime warranty. That's right. Fix them once and you're covered for life. Don't risk your family's safety or your peace of mind. Let A1 replace your springs before they become a problem. From repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one.
A1 from day one.
ASU women's basketball right here on KDUS AM 1060. Join the Lady Sun Devils this Sunday as they take on Kansas State here at home. Head coach Molly Miller knows what it'll take to lead her team to another home conference win. Join Jeff Mott on the call live. It's ASU versus Kansas State this Sunday. A pregame at 1:30 p.m. and tip-off at 2 right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app. Back here on the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert, producer Evan, hanging out with you. And once the Arizona Cardinals figure out who their next head coach is going to be, they're not going to have a lot of time because the calendar's about to flip to February, and it isn't that late into March that they have to decide what they are going to do with Kyler Murray. And perhaps we are starting to get a gauge as to the price that the Cardinals are setting for Kyler Murray. Josh Weinfuss over at ESPN does a great job covering the Cardinals, said that it looks like the Cardinals will be aiming to get a second-round pick for Kyler Murray, but that the market might have him more as a third-round pick. The source that Josh Weinfuss talked to for this story said that this is kind of like the Geno Smith situation when he was traded from Seattle to Vegas for a third-rounder. And as you know, Kyler Murray due $36.8 million next season. If he's on the Cardinals roster by the start of the league year, another $19.5 million in guaranteed for 2027. So the Cardinals don't want to be on the hook for that money. They want somebody else to be. And this is all about supply and demand. So producer Evan, I want to do the exercise if it's all right with you. Let's go through the list of teams that we think, because I guarantee you there's somebody out there who just heard me say that the Cardinals want a second-round pick and that they might get a third-round pick, and they think that's too much for Kyler Murray, that they would be shocked if the Cardinals were able to pull that off. So I want to do a basic list here. Not a top 5 list. I'm not going to play the music, just a basic list here of teams that we know are going to be in the quarterback market. You want to start with the AFC or the NFC?
Start with the AFC.
Start with the AFC East. Miami and the Jets. The AFC South. Houston doesn't need a quarterback. Jacksonville doesn't need a quarterback. Tennessee doesn't need a quarterback. I'll throw Indy on the list. The North.
Certainly a guy for next year.
The North. Baltimore's good. We'll put Pittsburgh on the list for the moment. We don't know if Rodgers is going to come back. We'll put Cleveland on the list for a moment, and we're good there, right?
Correct.
We go to the West. Raiders need a quarterback.
Correct.
They may take the number 1 overall pick, but they might not. Or they may want a veteran.
I think that's it, though.
We'll put them on the list. Denver feels pretty set with Bo Nix. I think the Chiefs like that Mahomes guy, and Herbert in L.A. is working out okay. So that's the AFC. Let's go to the NFC. Eagles no, Cowboys no, Washington no, Giants no. So nobody in the NFC East.
Correct.
NFC North, Minnesota will put them down.
Yeah. And apparently they have showed a tad a bit of interest.
So we'll put them down.
Yep.
Let's go to the South. Atlanta certainly needs a quarterback.
Correct.
That's about it, right?
I don't think New Orleans is on there right now. I think they're going to roll with Shock.
I think Carolina is okay with Bryce Young, and I think Tampa's good with Baker.
Correct.
So we go to the West. Everybody's good other than Arizona.
Correct.
And we're good in the North.
How many teams are on that? 7?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, including the Raiders, who have the number 1 overall pick. That's 8 teams that we know for certain are going to be looking for a quarterback. It's a fourth of the league, not including you, that's looking for a quarterback.
It's a lot.
Kenny Pickett went for a 5th-round pick.
Yeah.
Geno Smith went for a 3rd-round pick.
You can get a 3rd-round pick for Kyler Murray.
Especially with this many teams. And there are teams on here that are going to be desperate. Minnesota's going to be desperate to get a quarterback. Kevin Stefanski's going to be desperate to get somebody in there to play quarterback. Cleveland's going to be desperate to get a quarterback. The Jets are going to be desperate to get somebody who can raise the floor and play a decent level of quarterback for them. And I know that we in this town have warped our brains about Kyler Murray, but I think Jets fans would love the quarterback play that
Correct.
Kyler Murray would provide.
Correct.
The floor is better than anything that they've had. Miami might be interested in Kyler Murray. I mean, you've got so many options available to you.
So many.
8 teams. You just need 1. Really 2 if you want to create a bidding war. It is a supply and demand. This isn't an offseason where most teams are settled in their quarterback situation. You've got 8 teams, a fourth of the league, that is looking to add somebody to that room. They're going to call. They're going to ask. And maybe they laugh you off the phone if you say a second-round pick. But do I think the Cardinals are going to be able to, and even if it ends up being a day 3 pick, do I think the Cardinals are going to be able to get off this money and trade Kyler Murray? I do. Somebody is going to be desperate enough to not want to wait for Kyler to get cut and have to win a free agent battle to trade for him. They may be willing to trade for that contract because they know they can get out of it at the end of the year and give up a 3 or a 4 to get themselves a quarterback.
I agree.
I mean, 8 teams is not nothing.
No, you said it best. It's a fourth of the league.
That is looking for a
fourth
quarterback.
of the league. And let's go through it. Minnesota's certainly not picking at the top of the draft.
No.
Atlanta, Not picking at the top of the draft.
They don't. In fact, not picking in the first round at all.
They didn't even have a first-round pick.
That's what I'm saying, not picking in the first round at all.
That's right. Miami, not at the top of the draft. New York is. Pittsburgh, going to be looking for a new quarterback. They're not at the top of the draft. You've so many teams that are not only looking for a quarterback, but certainly don't pick within the top 10. So you're going to have so many teams looking for a free agent, looking for a trade, and there's only so many Malik Willises out there that are going to be the hot name in this free agent, next quarterback search.
Well, and let's use Malik Willis as an example. He's going to pick what is the most advantageous situation for him.
Correct.
And, Minnesota jumps off the page as a landing spot. I look at Indianapolis with all their infrastructure. I look at Atlanta with all their talent. Like, you want to go into a place that has talent that's going to make you the best version of yourself.
I can hit the ground running.
Right. You're not hitting the ground running in New York or Cleveland or Arizona. As much as I would love Malik Willis here, I don't think it's a possibility. And Brian over on YouTube just asked, am I 100% sure Murray is not under center for the Cardinals for game one? No,
not at all.
Not at all.
Especially if I think this too, if Klint Kubiak or Mike LaFleur come in and say, hey, we think Kyler is the guy this year and we'll address the quarterback position next year. That's the answer you're going with.
We have said this. I think we have been consistent in saying this. If you bring in an offensive-minded coach and that offensive-minded coach wants to give it a run with Kyler for a year, I think you owe it to them to let them have a shot. And I understand how outrageous that sounds, but you don't bring Mike LaFleur in here to then tell him, yeah, no, we're out of the Kyler Murray business, even though you, one of the top young offensive minds, say that you think you can get more out of him. No, we know better than you. At that point, just hire somebody and you can coach the team.
You don't say that.
You don't say that.
You do not say that to a new coach you bring.
Kyler Murray is owed $22.8 million for 2026. And then he's owed $19.5 million in 2027. So if you trade for him, I'm just trying to see
where would it bring you financially. Is that what you're saying?
If the Cardinals save $34 million in cap space if they trade this offseason, they have $17 million in dead money, but they save $34.7 million.
I read something the other day that the Cardinals have $35 million in cap space.
I think it's like 45 or something.
But they can get it up to like 65 with just a couple basic moves.
If they do the normal run-of-the-mill restructure of contracts, they can probably bump it up. And then obviously moving Kyler would free up quite a bit of money.
Yes, you could get – I think the belief is if you move Kyler, you could get this up to $80 million.
Yeah, if you traded him. Yes.
Isn't that what you're saying to some of these coaches? Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Like when you bring in, hey, I know what our cap space looks like on paper. But we think we could rival the Raiders cap space if we make the right moves here in the coming week.
Yeah, like I'm just looking at Kyler's contract. He has a fully guaranteed salary for 2027 that guarantees on the 5th day of the league year. So if you trade for him, you have the 22.8 2026 salary. You have the 19.5 million 2027 salary that you're immediately on the hook for. That's 2 years, $40 million. I mean, that's the going rate for a quarterback these days.
Yeah.
He has a 2026 roster, 90-man roster bonus, which was paid out last year. He has a 2027 90-man roster bonus that's due the 5th day of the league year in 2027. That's $14 million. So you would add that as well in 2027 to it. So it ends up being like $50 or $60 million. It's basically a 2-year contract if you trade for him at like $30 million a season, give or take. I don't have all the numbers here in front of me. I'm just trying to do some rough math.
It's better than
I think there will be a team that's interested in trading for that. I do.
I do as well.
But if Mike LaFleur or Klint Kubiak wants him to be the guy under center, then he should be the guy under center. So no, I will not say it's a 100% certainty that he's gone. Do I think they will be able to move him if they want to? Yes. Do I think they absolutely are going to move him? No. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. When we come back, we got Jim Rome at the top of the hour, but before that, it is all the stories we didn't get to today on the show. We call them the leftovers. We get to as many of them as we can next. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
The Dan Patrick Show.
I wasn't going to ask too much of Jarrett Stidham. I just wanted him to maintain. You throw one deep pass late, and then you come back and try to throw another deep pass in those conditions, and he gets picked off. They just weren't threatening on when neither team was, because the weather was, obviously rough enough that we could even find, Jim Nance is like, I don't know where the ball is. I think the 33-yard line.
Weekdays, 7 to 10 a.m. on KDUS AM 1060. If you're hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, everything can change fast. That's when the attorneys at Sweet James step in. They help you understand your rights, connect you with medical care, and pursue the compensation you may be entitled to. You don't pay anything unless your case is resolved successfully, and help is available 24 hours a day. If you've been injured, call Sweet James for a free case review. Hablamos Español. 800-900-0000. SweetJames.com. This advertisement is paid for by Sweet James LLP. Responsible attorney, Bobby Tick-Heavy. Offices in California. No guarantee of results.
Chicago Sticks, the Windy Cities Tour. Finally, two iconic bands together for the first time. September 1st, Mortgage Matchup Center. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Don't miss Chicago and Sticks. All the hits, your kind of tour.
Right now at Del Taco, you can get 2 grilled chicken tacos for just $3. You hear that? That's the real sizzle of a real grill. At Del Taco, we freshly grill our marinated chicken right here in our kitchens. Not some factory far, far away. It's what makes our grilled chicken tacos a top seller for over 30 years. So come get 2 grilled chicken tacos, made to order for only $3. A real good deal we can all use right now. Only at Del Taco. Price and participation may vary.
The Valley of the Sun will roar to life this spring.
This ought to get pretty wild here.
Why is that, you may ask? Because NASCAR and the NTT IndyCar Series are coming to Phoenix. And it's going to be a weekend of good vibes the whole family won't forget. The best-in-class fan experience meets racing's toughest drivers for 3 days of action on and off the track, all surrounded by the beautiful Estrella Mountains. NASCAR weekend at Phoenix Raceway, March 5th through the 8th. Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com.
NAU men's basketball continues on both KAZG 1440 and KDUS AM 1060 this Thursday. Join the Lumberjacks as they look to defend home court against Eastern Washington. Head coach Shane Burkhardt knows his team has the tools they need in order to score another home win. Join Mitch Stroman on the call live. It's NAU versus Eastern Washington this Thursday. Pregame at 5:30 p.m. over on KAZG 1440 and tip-off at 6 also on KDUS AM 1060. And that's right, NAU men's basketball tonight. They'll take on Eastern Washington. Pregame starts at 5:30 over on KAZG 1440. And then you can listen to the tip here on KDUS AM 1060 at 6 o'clock right after the Sports Zoo with our guy Rooster. Before we hand things off to Jim Rome at the top of the hour, it is all the stories we didn't get to today here on the program. We call them the leftovers. Producer Evan, what do we have today?
Congratulations to Brooks Koepka, who is back on the PGA today, just teed off on his first PGA event back.
Now, this is not a event where you're giving out an official pick, right?
No, but I want to be very clear. I will be giving out picks next week for the tournament here locally. So just majors and local tournaments.
So the majors and what some people refer to as the fifth major.
Yes.
It's because of the spectacle that it is in the Waste Management Phoenix Open. So picks coming, which would have to be on Wednesday's edition of the leftovers. Because you're not making picks on Thursday after the rounds have started.
Obviously.
So Wednesday you'll be making selections.
The Opens, list of players this year. I can't believe it. Can't think of what that's called.
The roster?
The
field. Okay.
Field is very good this year.
So going to be really tough to find some good picks.
Koepka back in. Obviously the two-time champion in Brooks. Pretty much everybody, Rory, is in this year.
Okay. So looking forward to your picks next week.
Yes.
Happy for Brooks to be back.
Happy. Nothing new here. Just a quarterback upset with his head coach named Sean Payton. Bo Nix is reportedly very upset with Sean Payton right now for giving out his injury history to the media and talking about previous ankle injuries he's had after the ankle injury he suffered in the AFC division.
I mean, I guess from a HIPAA perspective, you're not allowed to disclose that kind of information. But, like, I'm surprised that he's that upset about it.
He seems like upset about it.
That is interesting. I mean, I get, listen, I get it. It's your medical history. You want to share it on your own time or not share it on your own time. But sports are kind of this weird gray area when it comes to that kind of stuff. With the sports betting and needing to disclose these injuries, it does get a little weird. But yeah, I don't know if I love a coach going back and talking about a player's past history, but did he say anything that was like totally out of bounds?
So on Tuesday, Peyton said Nix was predisposed to an inevitable ankle fracture.
Okay, so now, yeah, so that's where I think you
crossed the line.
Only because you're saying that he has some type of condition that made him susceptible to this kind of stuff, and that's bad. I think it would be different if Peyton was talking about other ankle injuries he's had in the past at different colleges. I do think it's different to bring up something in somebody's medical report that, and you see this all the time sometimes in baseball, right? This was the big thing with Carlos Correa when he was a Twin, then he was going to be a Met, then he ended up being a Giant, all that stuff, was that in the medicals, they thought that he was going to have something down the road that he needed to get, a surgery that he was going to need to get. It's kind of weird to talk about that stuff out loud. So, yeah, I can understand Bo Nix's frustration.
But people are upset about it. People are upset about it because
at Sean Payton or Bo Nix?
Sean Payton.
I mean, this is just going to blow over and it's going to be fine. But
it'll all be fine, and I'm sure they're going to be okay.
Yeah, they're going to be just
fine. Bo Nix said, "quote Nothing was predisposed in my ankle. That might have gotten confused."
Okay, he doesn't sound super upset.
Yeah, he doesn't sound super upset. The report I got this morning from ESPN made it sound like he was pissed.
Well, yeah, can I just read you the Sports Illustrated headline? Why Sean Payton and Bo Nix seem to be at odds over a quarterback's ankle injury.
That's a very misleading headline.
Bo Nix calls out Sean Payton's mistake.
That's the one I got. Well, who wrote that?
That was Yahoo.
Yeah, that one is ridiculous. That one's a lie.
Yeah, I think we're okay here. I think we're okay.
Fox Sports wrote a story.
Also, Brian, Brian wants to chime in on the golf.
Yeah.
He says it's kind of a BS shady move by Brooks. Takes the big money, fractures the PGA, and then is allowed to come back. Very shady. Now Reed is coming back also. Well, Reed did not get in time when the PGA offered the one time, we'll accept your apology and let you back on the tour.
Yeah.
So he's got to sit out a year.
Correct.
So he's playing the DP World Tour. He's playing on that tour for a year, and then he'll come back. So he's not immediately coming back. But yeah, I mean, listen, this was the territory that the PGA carved out for themselves when all those players left for LIV, and they said that those players weren't going to be welcomed back. And then the PGA kind of realized, well, if a player like Brooks wants to come back, he's kind of a draw for us, and that's why you don't deal in absolutes most of the time.
And it'll be interesting to see when one of the smaller names tries to come back, what they'll do.
Right. If they'll stay firm to no, you're not allowed back in.
Yeah. But I did hear Tiger talk about it, about the extensive process that it was to decide on whether they were going to let these guys back. And most of the players were certainly okay with them coming back.
Well, yeah, and I think it should be up to the players because those players decided to stick with the tour and not take the easy route and take the big, massive payout from LIV. And so if those players are fine with it, then who am I to say that they shouldn't be allowed back?
And that's if the big, especially the big dogs, Rory got, offered what you think? Tiger got offered what you think? If they're okay with them coming back onto the tour,
then okay.
The majority believes that it's fine, then okay. I don't really, I understand that they made a mistake to go to LIV, but we're going to ban some of the best players in the world from the tour.
And the PGA needs to do what is in their best interest for their sport, their business model, their revenue, right? That's going to do it for us here on the Thursday edition of the show. Jim Rome, he's coming up next. Producer Evan, thank you for all that you do. Everybody, have a great rest of your Thursday. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See ya!